Alright, that's pretty much the dry fit. And we got all the way to right here now. We got to get down through all this googly goo and on out of this retaining wall that is right here. And this little bit of wall right here. And this little retaining piece right here. Got to go underneath all that. And it's pretty much dug out. I mean, we still got a little bit of cleaning out to do. And then after we get on the other side of there, we'll probably, maybe dig out a little bit right there. But one of the things I wanted to kind of show up here, we're getting ready, now that we've got the dry fit done, we're getting ready to start gluing this stuff together before we stick it in the hole. So, we got a dry fit, we got to mark it. And this is the critical part that we got to mark, is right here. Right here. Right here. So if we line up these lines, These two ain't gonna matter because they're just straight. This one's not gonna matter because it's straight. But once we get these two right here glued together on this line and this line, then this will become important. So we need to make sure that we get these lined up exactly right. Okay, this right here is going to be fine. We don't need to mark that. This end up here will be fine. We don't need to mark that. And pretty much none of that down there we'll need to mark unless we decide that we got to have like a 45 or something. And we may end up needing a 45 down at the other end down there. I'm not real sure yet. You notice that the pipe is up off the bottom of the ditch right now. So probably what we'll do is we'll, get a shovel of dirt and stick up underneath here to, support the pipe so that it's not being pushed down. But at this point, we're going to take all the pipe out, put it out on the driveway, clean the ends with primer, and then glue it together and let it set up. Then we'll move the whole piece back over here, with the exception of the piece that's got to go underneath that end. And we'll maneuver it all back onto here like it's supposed to be. Okay, so got it all glued together. And it's pretty much in the ground. Tied in right there. Got it tied into the flux piece right there. And all I got to do now is backfill it. Backfill this part and then figure out what I'm going to do down there by the tractor and on the other side of the retaining wall. Alright, I forgot to turn the camera back on, but in the previous video I talked about replacing the gutter drain spout for the underground system. And also, we hadn't had any problems with the basement leaking, but because the gutter was leaking right there, it was accumulating a lot of water on this retaining wall, and the water would seep through and come out. Just minute little bits would come out on this side of the retaining wall. And this is where we have our concrete patio. So my brother came over and we come up with this idea of putting this plastic down, and we're going to backfill against the plastic with some dirt, then trim it off so you can't see it, and that'll act as a barrier between any water that gets back there, and it'll also be somewhat flexible, so if water does get between here and the brick and it freezes, it won't be enough to push the wall over or anything like that. So anyway, just kind of wanted to update the video, so since I did talk about this, you can get an idea of what we did to fix it. And I think this is going to cure the problem. Pretty thick poly, so it ought to be here for a while. Now the backfill.